Hard to believe it's already time to start carving up pumpkins, and before you know it, all the other holidays fall into place too. So we decided to start this week's Explore Tulsa at a place for great gift ideas.
Then a chef on the move.
Followed by a floral legacy that continues.
Plus a rock-solid family business.
Hi there, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. We're excited to have you back with us for this week's Explore Tulsa.
You'd better believe it, Trish. And this week, we jump into the old Wayback Machine to a time when turntables and LPs were king.
Stevie, all generations still enjoy the sound of music coming from vinyl records. What was the first album you ever bought?
Fleetwood Mac's Rumors LP. Every song on that album was a hit.
Well, maybe we'll find it downtown at David Grover's new Spinster Records.
You have to be crazy to open a record store. You really do. I mean, like when you really break it all down, it's a lot of work. But I love it, and I am crazy, so that's why I'm doing a record store. The first piece of vinyl I got was probably my parents' records. They had like Sonny and Cher, and like the 20 heavy hits of the '60s, and maybe a Beatles record. Cat Stevens. So yeah, my parents were kind of like hippie West Coast, and we moved from LA to Hawaii, so a lot of Hawaiian music too. So those are all the first records in my world. First record I bought was probably the Beatles' Greatest Hits, the Red album. I remember music always being around the house, and then I was just always enthralled with music. Like when I was a little kid, I'd just be really close to the radio and just listening and figuring out all the songs, and I started playing music really early, so I was just always really captivated by music. Yeah, I did a lot of work in Los Angeles, playing clubs and playing areas around there, and DJing and actually throwing events. So that started probably for me in the 90s, and I was in a band at the same time, so doing a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, it's always been vinyl, and well, it never went away. So it was always around. But what happened was, obviously CDs and MP3s and all those things got popular, but vinyl was still kind of around, and it was mainly alternative, and DJs still had to do vinyl until CDJs came out. So that kind of extended it, and hip hop had a big connection to vinyl because it was DJs who were creating the beats and samples, so it was kind of kept alive, and collectors were still collecting. So it had this kind of weird life this whole time. There's all these little things that were kind of always boosting it, making it cool, and then it just started growing a little bit more, and then I think like the end of Gen Xers and the beginning of millennials, they just started really liking things that were more classic and something that you could hold and touch, and it was more manual. A record, you hold it, you physically open it, there's the static, you put it on, you're in control, you have to be involved in it. You can't, you have to lift it up when it's done, so you have to be present for it. So I think all of these things kind of add to the longevity, and it's just like a really great form for the art. It's like a culmination, 4 to 5 songs aside. A group and a producer and writers got together and did this, and it's like their culmination of work. And it's just like, it's 12 by 12, it's perfect for our hands, we can look at it. There's just a lot of things going for the format. We were looking at all these cities, and we kept coming back to Tulsa, and we just really liked the music scene here and the way the city's set up, and there weren't a whole lot of record stores yet, even though it's not a huge issue for us, because we think there can be a lot more record stores. We just kind of fell in love with the city and the people, and so we got a good chance to check out different locations, and came across this one, and we're super happy to be downtown in the Tulsa Arts District. I think that for me, we're not only a record store, we kind of consider ourselves a music lifestyle store. So we have live shows here, and we do events, we do a lot of other things. So we think record stores have always been important parts of community and city, as is bookstores and libraries and all these things that are public gathering places. I think are really important, especially now when we're getting more and more on our phones and our devices, and we're in cubicles and we're at home. We're getting less and less chance to interact, and I think for me those things are really important, and I want to live in cities that have things like that.
So many great musical memories, so little time.
Well, no worries, because the vinyl is available 7 days a week. Visit SpinsterRecords.com to learn more.
I wonder what kind of music Terry Firmo plays when she's cooking her wonderful meals.
There's only one way to find out for sure. We'll visit with her next when Explore Tulsa continues. Why are we in spacesuits?
We are traveling to the future, where TVs have a contrast range between 400 nits of brighter whites and blacks as deep as 0.4 nits and 10-bit color. It gives us over 1 billion individual colors on the screen.
Video Revolution already has tomorrow's TVs today with the best in Sony high dynamic range TVs.
TVs with contrast and color offering more natural, true-to-life colors?
Oh yes, Video Revolution now and in the future on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Hi, Dr. Robert Zellner here. For over 20 years, I've offered affordable, convenient eye care in Tulsa. Right now, you can get 1 pair of glasses or contact lenses starting at just $99, or my 2-pair deal for $129. Hey, and as always, the eye exam's included. Walk-ins are always welcome. Glasses are ready in about an hour. Plus, we have over 2,000 frames to choose from. We're open 7 days a week. Come see why we're voted Tulsa's best. And our drive-thru at 69th and Memorial makes pickup simple and easy. For the best eye care value in Tulsa, Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates.
Hello and welcome back for more Explore Tulsa. Now the next time you're out at the Tulsa Farmers Market on Cherry Street, make sure you look for Chef Terry Firmo.
Oh yeah, you'll find her in her unique truck she affectionately refers to as Jezebel.
Where Chef Terry makes the most amazing Filipino dishes with a Latino fusion flair.
The main thing about Filipino food is that it's very saucy. We do a lot of soups and braises and stews, so that's why at the Filipino table you eat with a fork and spoon. We don't use chopsticks, we use a fork and a spoon. That's always, to get all the sauces and things, that's always on our table. And the other thing about the Filipino table is it's always both savory and sweet. So if you want to have a little bit of sweet after you have something salty, it's there. There's not a designated time for dessert. You have it when you want it. How I got into the food truck industry is I was a caterer for 6 or 7 years. I opened in 2005, and then, the whole food truck thing started to kind of start, and so I thought it'd be the perfect addition to my catering business, because sometimes I go to kitchens and there's like no way I can cook in their kitchen. So now I have everything I need: fryers, burners, an oven, even microwave and refrigerator, freezer. I was always in the restaurant business. I've been working for quite a while now, and I decided to go to culinary school. So I started at the Culinary Institute of America, graduated the first program, and then graduated the second program, which was the Bachelor's in Culinary Arts. And then I decided to get pastry certification. So I went to London and Paris to Le Cordon Bleu and got I think it's called the Patisserie Grand Diplôme or something along that line. It was awesome being there. I still have, pretty lofty dreams about living there part-time and living here part-time. My mother was an awesome cook. I didn't realize how skilled she was until I went to culinary school, because to be able to debone a chicken, to remove all the bones inside out from a chicken is surgical. That's very skilled. And I also discovered she knew her knife cuts and all that stuff. She's a very incredible Filipino cook, but she also, in 1967, when she went to Hong Kong with her mother, had dim sum for the first time. And so she took lessons, cooking lessons. Even though she was a physician by profession, she was always a cook. The beautiful thing about Filipino food is it's really in the forefront now. You talk to anyone in the business and they say it's the next big thing. It's an Asian country, but it's also the only Christian Asian country, because we were a Spanish colony for hundreds of years. And then that means our food is also influenced by the Spaniards, along with neighboring countries like China and Indonesia. So our food is really a melting pot. It's kind of like, I would call it Latin Asian fusion. I don't run my food truck business like everybody. I mean, like obviously we have a presence at the farmer's market because I've been there for 12 years. And we don't just do hot food, we do frozen dinners. I do very specific food. There really isn't much that we don't do in my kitchen. It's not strictly Filipino food. We do American regional and international as well, and always, always, always have sweets on our truck. So there's a lot of things to grab and go that are just ready out front. And then if you want to get, you know, something for breakfast, which is what we do at the farmer's market, or something for brunch, which is what we do at Fuel 66 on Sundays occasionally. Oh, we sell toffee, but we also do a cayenne cashew brittle. We do, like, there's these ones that are very reminiscent of Filipino dessert. It's a date drop. It's where you take dates and sugar and eggs and you heat it up to 280 degrees, and then you add Rice Krispies and pecans, and then you roll it in coconut. And it's that coconut that makes it very reminiscent of a Filipino dessert. What I enjoy about working in Tulsa is turning people on to different kinds of cuisine, especially Filipino, because it's, you know, we don't have a Filipino restaurant in Tulsa. There's one in Del City. I don't even think there's one in Oklahoma City besides that one. It's a very underrepresented cuisine unless you're in California or New York or even the bigger cities, they're popping up. Tulsa's really funny because they can be fickle, but I tell you what, they are brave. Like, they'll try different foods, and we have successful restaurants here from all over the world. I just want to put Filipino food on the map.
Oh man, she let us try a couple of her desserts and they are incredible.
When you say us, somehow that never includes me. So if you're like me and you're interested in trying some of Chef Terry's recipes, visit bohemialove.com to learn more.
I'm sorry I didn't save you dessert, but it was only because I was thinking about how much you really enjoy flowers.
Oh, so you got me some flowers?
No, but I know a great place that has some of the most beautiful arrangements in Tulsa, and Murry's Flowers is our next stop when we continue with more Explore Tulsa.
Sonos has been a great product for us because it's a wireless audio system. Whether you want to do just one room and listen to what you want from your phone, or whether you want to build a complete home theater system. Each room you can play something different from your phone. There's up to 44 different music providers. If you want to link together your kitchen and your bathroom to play the same thing and your living room play something else, whatever you decide, it's all controlled by your app. You have a bridge or boost that hooks into your existing wireless router. You download the app and you have all these music providers at the palm of your hands. You can play any music that's stored in your device, whether it's Android or Apple. You can download the app on a laptop, on your desktop computer. Yeah, we have the Sonos Play 1, which is a small speaker. You can put it in any room and then you can start adding from there. You can go up to bigger sizes. This is called a Play 5. This one has a wireless subwoofer in it, so if you have a larger room or would like a little bit more bass, they have multiple different sizes. The wireless bridge, you just need one for the whole house. Whether you do one speaker or do 10 speakers, it will create a mesh Wi-Fi network throughout your whole home. Used to, we had wires all over the house. You had a receiver, you have guys crawling through your attic trying to run wires. This is plug and play, simple solution. My name is Randy Beach. Come down and see me. I'll be happy to help you.
Hi there, it's good to have you back with us for more Explore Tulsa. On the new Netflix special from Jerry Seinfeld, Jerry tells us that floors should name their arrangements by what kind of trouble the guy is into.
Oh, now that's a great idea. So for you, you'd probably spend a lot of money on the "you're such a child" arrangement.
Whatever. All I know is Nikki and Galen know exactly what I need every time I get in trouble with the wife.
The big plan was I wanted to go to law school and I wanted to go into politics, but ended up staying in the floral business. Probably at a young age, because I think all little girls, you know, are decorating and playing with flowers and doing their Barbies and all that kind of stuff. So I knew that I already enjoyed doing those kinds of things.
I couldn't help but work with my mom. She opened her first shop in 1963 when I was just a kiddo, and I would love to go by the shop after school and hang out and watch the designers and play in the flowers. They let me make any bouquets I wanted to out of the flowers that were in the trash can or on the floor.
You know, I was working at a flower shop so I could go to, as a way to go to school, but I loved it. It was just perfect for me. I actually started when Murry was still very active, and I didn't really have any, any training or anything like that, which was great for her because she has a certain way of doing things, and she likes to train each one of her people to do it. And it was kind of very glamorous when I first started at Murry's because the store had the red carpet out front, and it was, she wanted people to feel like royalty when walking the red carpet. It was really, really glamorous to somebody that grew up in Muskogee, Oklahoma. She just commanded the room. She walked in anywhere and people just stopped and took notice because it wasn't her beauty necessarily, even though she was a very lovely lady. She just had this presence about her. You've met those people that you're just like, what is it about them? She just walked in and everybody just jumped to attention and, how can I help you and what can I do and that kind of stuff. So she was definitely my hero.
She always loved flowers. She played on her porch as a little girl with flowers and had a pretend flower shop on the front porch of her house. So she always wanted to be a florist and always told me not to do this. It was just too hard. Until she had opened her second shop in Utica Square and needed a little help over there and said, Galen, would you mind to come and help since you're between jobs? I had just gotten married. And I said, well, I'm not sure I know enough. She said, oh, you know more than you think. And I started in, and sure enough, I knew more than all of the people she'd hired to run the store, so I was back in.
I really thought after working here for almost 30 years that this was going to be just a piece of cake, and obviously when you're working for someone else, you always think that they don't really know anything. And so we jokingly always will say to Galen, which is Murry's daughter, that, well, she didn't really do anything. She was the owner, So when I took over, I know she was just sitting back laughing because now she gets to see all of the hurdles I'm jumping as owner and who doesn't do anything, But I really thought it would be easier than it was, and maintaining such a high level of excellence you wouldn't think would be that difficult, but it is. It's a lot of work.
Nikki has that same passion that Murry had. She has always enjoyed it from day one, and she has an interest and a head for business. And I think going into the 21st century, that's more and more what a flower shop owner needs to be. It was a delight to get invited to come help part-time with her. It's amazing to me to watch her run this new/old operation because she's bringing the best of the old and just selecting the best of what the legacy represents and the Murry name represents and bringing it into this new market and this new age.
Nobody's going to love the store more than her, you know what I mean? You can't hire enough people that are going to have that same connection, and so I know that having her walk in the door, she's going to take care of everything exactly the way it needs to be done. And besides, we're after 30 years of working together, we're buddies, We made a good team. I just think that sometimes you get you're lucky enough to fall into something where it's your passion and something you really love, and it's not very often that you get to make that your career.
It's so great that the team of Murry's takes such pride in keeping Murry's legacy alive in everything they do.
To learn more about what they have to offer or to get the arrangements you need for your next event, visit MurryMurrysFlowers.com to find out more.
Flowers look so good in my backyard just as soon as I get all that hardscape rockin' stones finished.
I know just the place you need to go, Stevie. Hardscape Materials is our next stop when we return with more Explore Tulsa.
The key to getting a firm grip on your health is knowing exactly what it is you're doing to your body and how it's affected. Don't ever stop learning.
Dr. Mark and I have just published our newest book, Fork Your Diet, and want to share our knowledge and experience with you in an easy to read but very informative manner.
Easy to read, yes, but life-changing with chapters like dodging diabetes and food for thought on Alzheimer's and dementia.
plus the disease of depression. In the book, we address the problems of dieting, fasting, and accountability.
Let me read you a quote from the book. In today's America, if you're fit and healthy with a normal body composition, you're radically different.
Be radically different. You can find the book and so much more at sherwoodwellness.tv.
See you on the radical side.
Sony and Video Revolution take you there. From space travel to world championships. Tomorrow's technology today. 4K smart TVs and the largest flat screens available. Now more than ever, you have the best seat in the world when history is made. Video Revolution. On the northwest corner, 71st and Lewis.
Hi again. It's wonderful to still have you with us for more Explore Tulsa.
So you just finished all your house remodeling.
Yeah.
When are you going to start getting your yard looking good too?
What do you mean getting my yard looking good?
You know, like a fire pit, a koi pond, a little stone walkway. That'd make your yard really look amazing.
Well, I wouldn't even know where to start.
That's why you got me, Trish. First, we go out and visit Brad and Jody Porter at their place, Hardscape Materials.
It is a little bit of a destination location, yes. We've been told that our pond department is probably one of the best in the nation. And we've visited a lot of places looking at garden centers, pond departments, stone yards, and we've tried to do it a little differently than everybody else. You know, we've probably been at this location for 25 years, probably. And we started out in a little lot in Sapulpa. Brad's father had a business, and we thought, well, okay, we're going to try it here. And we were in that little location off of New Sapulpa Road for maybe a year. And then we quickly outgrew that location, and then Brad came out and scouted this location for us.
Well, actually, I was a stonemason for 15 years before we ever sold a stone, mainly installing stone veneer in the new housing industry. And in the mid-'80s, the style of homes changed from stone to a Cape Cod style with a lot of brick. So it kind of forced a lot of us stonemasons to move to Dallas or Kansas City or Tennessee to lay rock, and I did go to Kansas City and laid rock there for a while to keep food on the table. But I still wanted to stay in Tulsa with my family and do my career here, and so I hooked up with several of the local swimming pool companies laying flagstone patios and waterfalls on swimming pools. But at that time there was really not a good stone yard in town to buy those supplies, so we were basically out there harvesting stone for our own jobs. That's when we really got the lot on in Sapulpa to store the stuff, and we decided, you know, with highway frontage there, we might as well put up a sign, try to sell the stones, and we slowly did, and it grew from that actually. Early on, we did focus mainly on landscape type stone and materials. Now, of course, we sell a lot of veneer stone for the new housing industry, as well as pottery, furniture, outdoor kitchen appliances, plants, water features. We actually sell everything for outdoor living. Well, it just kind of grew into it. You know, our kids growing up in the business, me and Jody talking about it 24 hours a day, you know, the kids grew up in it.
It started with Brad and I, and then our son Wes is kind of one of the stone sales, and he's a little bit of the operations manager around here. Our son Cameron actually works and helps with commercials and does signs and a lot of our advertising materials. Our daughter-in-law Jessica, who's married to Wes, is our bookkeeper and our office manager. They're having their third child in March, so we'll have 3 little grandbabies that are around here, and it's a little strange at times when the babies are around here. We didn't really expect that for ourselves. We didn't really see us having little children, you know, in the office, but it's been a pleasure. Our customers enjoy it. Our customers enjoy seeing our grandkids and our children. And then my sister-in-law Erin, Brad's youngest sister, she's the pond department manager.
I always enjoyed laying stone, and I still lay a little bit of rock, you know, here when we're doing a project or a display out here. I don't have time to lay all the rocks out here with our displays, but I still get my hands, you know, on a trowel and a hammer every now and then. Still enjoy doing that work. And it's not as physically tough as you think it is. And it's not all that complicated either. And we see some do-it-yourself work that just looks just as good as the professionals do. It just takes a little time and a little motivation, and anybody could build anything they see out here themselves if they have a desire to.
What a great story. The whole family gets involved to make their business work. Plus, Trish, Brad gave us a great tip. As the winter months approach, it's the best time to get good prices from contractors to do your stonework while their business is a little slow.
Well, if you're looking to give your yard a makeover with a contractor, or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, visit hardscapematerials.com to learn more.
Working with rock and stone always makes me think about Fred Flintstone.
Oh, because he worked at the Slate Rock and Gravel Company?
No, because he walked around barefoot on all those rocks and stones, never complained of a corn, plantar fasciitis. He's walking on hot rocks, Trish.
Stick around, there's more Explore Tulsa just ahead.
Take charge of your health. We are what we put into our bodies.
We approach medicine from a unique standpoint. Rather than treating only the symptoms of an illness, we work to find the root cause and promote wellness of the entire body.
Our clinic offers complete assessment and treatment programs, including hormone replacement therapy, osteopathic manipulative therapy, and genetic DNA testing. It all starts with a medical evaluation.
Contact us today to begin your path to wellness.
Be sure and join us next week on Explore Tulsa when we hang out with Joel Wade at Blue House Media.
Special thanks to David Grover for bringing Spinster Records to T-Town.
Thanks to Terry Fermo and the magic she does as chef of the Bohemia Movable Feast Caterers. Also special thanks to Nikki Argo and Galen Murray Watman for keeping the legacy alive of beautiful arrangement at Mary Murray's.
Plus thanks to Brad and Jody Porter and their family at Hardscape Materials.
Remember, if you miss any of the show, you can always catch us at exploretulsa.com.
As always, each week we feature the people, places, and attractions that make us proud to call Tulsa our home.
And hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook and share with us someone you think Tulsa should know more about.
Plus, remember, Explore Tulsa is brought to you by Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Stop by, say hello to Ron and all the guys for each of your home entertainment needs.
And Explore Tulsa is also proudly brought to you by Dr. Robert Zollner and Associates.
Home of Tulsa's best eye care value with 2 locations, 3030 South Harvard and 69th and Memorial.
And we welcome our newest sponsors, Doctors Mark and Michelle Sherwood at 61st and Sheridan.
Remember, your journey to whole body healing and wellness begins with the Functional Medical Institute.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on this week's show, but we'll see you next week right here on Explore Tulsa.